Hello everyone. So today I wanted to show you a few ways to create some ribbing for your projects. Ribbing is awesome because it has a stretch to it, and it's usually found on the ends of your sweaters like this, or on the cuffs, anything to make something give it an edge or make something a little bit stretchy. So here we've done 5 different types of ribbings, and I wanted to show you the different types of stretch that they have, because the stretch is important, especially if you're making a hat and you want to do a border, but you want the border to be tighter than the rest of your hat. So the first style that I've created here is your basic single crochet back and forth. Of course, we're working in rows back and forth like this, but when you have it on your garment or your hat, you're going to be wearing it like this most of the time. So the first one is single crochet, and it's worked back and forth in the back loops only. And this one is kind of nice. It creates a good stretch, and it's loose. Mind you, I've worked all these the same needle size, and I've done 2 swatches. The first size I used is a 5mm H hook, and the yarn is worsted weight. So this type of stretch on both sides has a pretty good stretch to it. Okay, so the second one we're working is a half double crochet, and it's worked in rows. This is it, if you can see it here. I'll fold it over so you can see it better. And this one's nice because it has that little kind of knit looking feel to it, and it creates that on both sides. Well, not so much on this side, but on this side it does. It's these 3 rows. And that one also has a pretty good stretch to it, but as you can see, there's a lot of space in between the ridges. Not like this one where there's pretty tight. The ridges are fairly close together. But this one also has a really cool effect, and that's pattern number 2 when you're reading the blog. So now we're moving on to number 3, which is this area here. And that one is created by doing a combination of single crochets and half double crochets, both working in the back loops. Usually when you do ribbing, you're working in the back loops because it creates that raised pattern. And so that one's kind of an interesting one because it gives you a thick starter, and then it gives you 2 thin rows, and then a thick one and 2 more thin ones. Now moving on to my favorite one. This one looks just like knit ribbing, and it has a great stretch to it. You can see when you pull it out, it creates a really cool, almost knitted look to it. And what that one is the single crochet and slip stitch ribbing. That one's worked also, everything's worked back and forth rows. Sometimes when you do, I don't know if you can do ribbing in the round, working it in the round, but moving on to the next one, this was an interesting one, and this one is using the half double crochet as well as front post half double crochets. Actually, I'm sorry, it's a half double crochet with single crochet combination, but the half double crochet is worked around the front posts. So when you're working the pattern, you're working 1 single crochet row and then a row of front post half double crochets. And when you turn it over, this is what you get for your ribbing. Or you could, put it on the garment like this and have this other kind of cool pattern for ribbing. The back side of the single crochet slip stitch looks like this, which creates actually a really nice flat solid surface, which is kind of nice. Well, when you stretch it out again, it gives you that ribbing technique, a ribbing look to it. So I worked another swatch in a smaller, with a smaller needle. And that one I worked a 4mm G hook. And this is done pretty much the same. It's the same worsted weight. And as you can see, the difference between the size of the two, this one is fairly large even though it's just an H hook. Same yarn, same type of yarn, but this is the look you get when you work with a 4mm hook, which is really nice because it also gives you that real put together kind of knitted ribbing look. And all the stitches are the same. This is the single crochet slip stitch, this is the half double crochet and single crochet, and this one, I only worked 4 on this one. This one is the single crochet rotating, and this is the half double crochet with working back loop only. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you learned something new. Of course, subscribe to my blog and my channel. That'd be great. I hope you guys have a good day, and happy hooking.